A dozen rows of two, let it rise for 100 years or two, and that's the recipe for making love.
Chase was just the happiest baby that I have ever had. I have 3 kids, and he was the one that just lit up the room when he walked in. He had a great sense of humor. He was always happy.
I always had to be the popular guy, the class clown, and whatever that took to get that status, I would do it.
It wasn't until he got into middle school years that those things started turning into behavioral problems, where he started acting out a little bit. And at that time, we attributed it to just teenage years. We thought that he would be fine.
The first time I tried marijuana, I was 13 years old. I thought it was amazing at first. I mean, I don't know, it took a lot of my anxiety and stress away, and I was always, I had a lot of ADHD growing up as a kid and always had to go. And when I smoked marijuana, I was okay in my own skin. I always heard people say that marijuana was an addictive drug and a gateway drug, and I didn't really believe them.
We got him help early on. We looked for resources right away. We were a loving family. There weren't addiction or alcohol issues in our house, and we'd raised 2 older kids. So we kind of were caught a little bit surprised at the level that he started taking things.
My real beginning stages of drug addiction would probably be with pain medicine, but I ended up getting 3 DUIs. And the first 2 were alcohol related. The third one was because of pain medication. And that all started with just simple dentist, visit to the dentist, and I liked the way the prescription pills made me feel. It was just this total change of mind, and it was like a warm blanket on a cold winter night. It just numbed all my feelings of anxiety and fear, and it just made me feel really good inside. Everything was just better. So one day my dealer didn't have any more pain medicine, and she said, well, I have a gram of heroin. It's the same thing as pain medicine. Why don't you just try this? And it was as simple as that for me, just to go from pain medicine to heroin. And whenever I was sober, all those emotions and all the shame and guilt and all the horrible things I was doing while I was on drugs would resurface, and I would just have to get high again. It was just a repetitive cycle. And the lowest point for me in my life would definitely be getting arrested right before I went to prison. And it ended up being a SWAT standoff in my family's house. And at that point, I just wanted to die. I was literally contemplating suicide by cop. Just going out, I told him I had a gun and a hostage, and I hadn't either, but I didn't think I would ever find happiness again in my life. I never thought I would ever have a second chance with my family. I thought my life was over and I could never maintain sobriety, and it was as hopeless as life could get for me.
It was, that moment where you're just, as a parent, you're at the bottom of your soul, and you just say, please God, help me help him by not interfering with the consequences of what this is doing to his life.
I was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. I just really got on my hands and knees and just, begged God to come into my heart and my life and to turn my life around. I was not getting any younger. I had a son who's, he's just turned 6 years old, and at the time he was 3, and I was going to miss out on a lot of years of his life knowing that I was going to prison. And I just developed this hatred for drugs and alcohol and addiction and what it does to families. And I was sick of hurting people. I was sick of hurting myself. I was sick of being a disappointment. I wanted to turn my life around, and I knew I had unconditional love and support from my family, and I never wanted to take advantage of that again. And by the grace of God, I have 3 years of sobriety today.
I was so proud he got his 3-year chip. It was overwhelming to me. That was more important to me than any college degree ever could have been, because he overcame something that was harder than anything anyone could overcome. I believe addiction is a disease, and it's not often talked about by people that aren't aware of it as that. People think it's just a choice, and they think, oh, this heroin addict or this meth addict, but they're human beings and they have a disease, and it needs to be treated like that.
So I'm really proud of myself for the first time in my life. I have never felt as good as I have today, but I'm proud of my family for sticking by my side. They're my angels, my guardian angels.
My relationship with Chase now is just a joy. He is so happy to be back in our family fold. I love every day, but I live in the moment, and I really enjoy those moments with Chase because he's wonderful now, healthy, beautiful, and alive.